Good afternoon and welcome to Galleria Bacalarte. Firstly, in Roberto Andrade's name, thank you for being here with us. Unfortunately, Robert is not with us, but we would like to say hello to Roberto. Hi.
Hi, Roberto.
Hola, Roberto. And it is a pleasure for me to introduce to you the artist Eduardo Lara. Eduardo, thank you for coming.
No, you're welcome for the invitation. Good evening to everybody.
And this is an occasion to talk with the artist for a few minutes about the exhibition, which we are going to open in 30 minutes actually. And this is a really special exhibition. Eduardo is a Mexican artist based in Praga, in Republic Czech. But you are living there for
17 years.
17 years, okay. And here I decided to choose some really different works. Actually, if we see the exhibition, we can thought that this is some artists. There are a lot of artists here. But if you contemplate deeply, you can see the same theory, actually. So if you would like to say us something about this painting, which is the main painting here.
The main painting, okay, yeah, sure. I will say a little bit about the three paintings we will see here, because are part of the same series. And it's the series about, the name of the series is now Doppelganger. But this series is about repetition, copies, everything about number two, and in this case twins or doubles, or many kinds of repetition, like polarity, opposite things, and many paintings are talking about like different of these topics, you know, these variations. This painting in specific is about the repetition. Is not like in other paintings like our twins, identical twins. In this case, the repetition is shown by the clothes of the two characters presented here.
Two or four?
Two, in this case two. But it's also talking about the mask and who is behind the mask. No, we don't know who is behind the mask. You can see just the eyes of the people, of these two persons. And immediately when we see these clothes, we assume that we are in front of two women. But the name of the painting is Peter and Paul.
So it's quite controversial.
Quite controversial, yeah. Because it's also like talking about like stereotypes in some way, but of course from the point of view of our Western mentality. And for this painting I used 4 models, because I always working with live models. So for this painting I use 4 models, 2 girls and 2 men. The two girls for the faces and 2 men for the hands. So it's also the double game about the man, female, the repetition, and also this opposite sex. But talking about this, the mask who is behind can be a man if you just see the eyes. No. Okay. That's
so we have a few interpretations about that. This is an oil on canvas. We have just one here in this room, but in this room we have also a series about the death and the dance macabre. And your inspiration here was the German artist from the Renaissance.
Holbein.
So can you explain your interpretation about
So no, this series is true. Is inspired in these works from Hans Holbein, but these 42 prints he did in the 16th century. 16, no, yeah.
16.
Yeah, and it's all this kind of images were really common after an epidemic, and I basically start to think about this to do this series last year. But then we started with coronavirus this year, so I decided to start it. But the difference between Holbein and this series, I basically took all of his subjects. Like you have the Pope, the King, the Emperor, the old woman, the old man, the Pope. So I tried to keep this the same characters, who are we still see it, And some of them I change it. Like for example, the king maybe will be the president, and the emperor will be the dictator. And in other.
And here we have the Pope.
And here we have the Pope, because we still have a Pope.
Okay.
And yeah, and for example, in one of these two images, in one image of Holbein, you have this the astrologist, but in this case, it's the astronomer. So,
okay.
And I have the astronaut in this one. So I'm doing a little bit like more contemporary, actual, but with the same topic and with the same intention.
And are you working in that yet?
Yeah, I will do 45 images, and will be like two versions of this series, complete series. Some of the copies, 20 copies will be separated, and I will make an edition of a book with the whole collection. So
cool.
It will be a collector's edition.
Okay.
So this is this work.
And behind you we have a really mysterious work.
Yeah,
we cannot read it, but we try all the time. Yeah, and it looks like a science.
Yeah, this is the result of an older work from 2000. So when I started to work with the writing, and talking about the writing, the meaning of the writing, but we have two ways of writing. The writing that we can read, and we can also in the writing we have two ways: the typed writing and the handwriting. Yeah. What we will see in the other works on detail. But this work is like it's inspiring this like unreadable writing, handwriting, but it's like just aesthetic. It's without meaning, so it just reminds us the intention of writing, but with no meaning. And also it's taken from this scientific codex from the Middle Ages, no? And in some cases they use like this, how do you say, like codificoban.
I don't know.
Like this in code, like trying to hide information, because they're trying to hide the information because they were jealous about this. Who is reading this? Who's reading that? So in this case, it's just reminding us these scientific illustrations in some way, because you have some arrows indicating something, but you cannot read. So it's not the intention to be written, it's just the intention to put in the same image a drawing and the writing, but the writing just in the static way, like no meaning, just taking the beauty of the writing.
So it's a kind of between a joke, but also semantics and and historical and scientists. And from the same series, if I am right, is this one also and this one. And here we have also some looks like a science, but here we have the heart, but also the USB.
Yeah.
So
it's a rechargeable heart, no?
What was in your mind to make this work?
I don't remember now, but it was like kind of ironic work, like a rechargeable heart. Maybe like someday maybe we will be able to recharge our heart, no?
And here again we have a double image.
Yeah, we have a double image, so it's in some way connected with the twins, but it's also many of my works are connected. No, many. In some way, all of them are connected.
Yeah, because of you.
Because of me, but sometimes are connected with the between series. So in this case, it's like part of the doppelganger series, but also this codex. So
it was a good decision.
In this case, it's like conjoined twins, and also in the same way of the scientific diagram.
And here in the dark room, we have an oil on canvas, quite big and really mysterious also. Can we go inside? And the inspiration for this image, for this work, was a book.
A book, yeah. So.
And their name is. They are the main characters, of this book.
Yeah, this book is a book written by Michel Tournier, a French writer, And in the book, he's part of the stories. He's talking about two identical twins, like not even their parents could recognize who is who. And in some point of the story of the book, like one of them have an accident, and of course, as a reader, you always know who is who because of the description of this situation. But in case if you're imagining the characters like identical twins. Once when he had the accident, of course you know who is who because one is on the wheelchair now, it's the handicapped guy. So that's when I started to think about this series, but that was in 2003, like 17 years ago. But I started the series in 2013, 10 years after. But originally I just wanted to make this painting, but 10 years after thinking about the repetition, the twins. Where we have in some way identical things. Where is the difference now?
So it was
even in objects,
beginning.
but in people is also interesting now. Like yeah.
So this is the origin of the whole
series. This is the origin of the whole series, no? And then I started with twins, but then I started with doubles. Then I continued with doubles with alter ego, and male, female. Opposite things, copies, reflections, everything like this, repeating something. And on the other painting,
we can see in the second room. Another one.
So,
So let's go there.
Okay.
Yep. Because this is the third and the last one all on canvas here, and also we have something double here.
Yes, something double. So here the dualism, or in this case, it's not repetition. This specific painting is talking about these two opposite poles of something. No, the male, female, but in the same person. So this is a person I met, a transgender man. So we can see how he kept his organs, and it's interesting because you can see the man with his vagina, no, still. So he's like the male, female in the same body, no, in one single thing, no. In this case, in one person, no, like these opposite things. Because I'm always working in this life, death, male, female, these two things of something, no.
Yeah, actually, it's the same thing.
And he's accompanied.
And he looks really proud.
Yeah,
and the dog also.
actually, this painting in the beginning is supposed to be just this guy, because was already the two things there. So because all these series are double portraits also, or triple some ways in some cases. But he was with his dog all the time, and the dog was jumping always into the couch. So I decided to paint keep the double portrait. But in this case, it's not a person; it's his dog.
Yeah. And
also, it's really interesting in this painting because this guy, when he finally received his documents, he changed his name, and his name now is Rad, and he took as last name the name of his dog. So the painting is Rad and Bandit. The dog is Bandit, and he is now Rad Bandit.
Now, okay.
So it's again the repetition: Rad and Bandit and Rad Bandit.
Rad Bandit.
But this was accidental, this repetition.
Cool.
But it's nice story, during the process of painting.
Yeah, it's amazing. And here behind me, we have an object. I'm not going to ask what is it because it's obvious, but why?
Why? This is a coffin, but actually this is the first object I did because I was planning to do my own. I have in my studio my own one. I went to the carpenter to measure myself, and this idea came. It's like 20 years old idea. Because I was thinking, as an artist, for me, it was in some way obvious or ridiculous, as an artist, ending in a regular coffin. So I decided I wanted to do my own coffin, and in some way, ending in your own work. So that's the purpose. So
and here we have the miniature of this.
I have the miniature.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is like really symbolic. Also really symbolic because it's on one side we have the moon faces. On the other side we have in some way it's the sun from the down till the sun is going down, and on the feet we have the moon, on the head we have the sun, and on the top, on the cover, we have an eclipse. So it's the joining, or when these two things are going together, no? The moon and the sun.
Again,
the moon eclipsing the light, so the death eclipsing the life, no?
Here we have from the same series and in the first room, but this is a special one because you printed in.
This is okay, the topic is really simple. It's like just about like also remaining or not remaining, reminding this old, really old medieval codex, like talking about astronomy, astrology, and these kind of things like. And also because I was reading a book about the history of medicine, and in the Middle Ages they were many people thought like the cause of many illness were by the stars and things, and that's why we have a symbolic, moon and sun, and we have like the illness here. And many times they thought there were kind of demons like who we had inside, no? or by the stars, or something like some bad spirits or demons who were taking us. And one part is on metal, the original plate, and second one is on Tetra Pak. So it's like right point on Tetra Pak. That's why it's just one single copy with these two images together. Maybe I will can be able to do this upper part, but this after one copy. You start to miss small parts of the original plate of the Tetra Pak. But it's really
that's
interesting.
Why just one, so that's quite special.
This is like this is not conjoined twins, but this is two-headed person. No? One body, two heads. Like we have some cases like with people that birth like just one body and two heads. But it's just that, like the dualism in some way, but also in many cultures you have this representation of the double head person also sometimes, like it's like up second to the religion, they have like light, darkness, life, death, always opposite things. So we have, and also it's like, I also kind of sometimes like dark humor or ironical thing, it's not humor, or ironical things like this is, one guy is missing the soap, and the one is handing the brush. So it's like an absurd situation. Like one is like who have to manage who is taking it. So, but it's other thing.
Yeah. So we have a sense of humor. We have double things. Actually, it's everything the same subject, but in different ways, different technicals.
Okay, and this work is the assassination of Quixote, but in this print, I was talking about the idealist or the idealism, and many of the idealist people, many times they don't die, they are assassinated. So many people immediately thought about Che Guevara, but it's not talking about Che Guevara, no. So maybe that's whatever is like all kind of idealist people in general, with no one in a specific.
So here we have another works with also letters, but here this is a typed. But the meaning?
No, this was like when I was doing these works, 20 years old works. I was working a lot on printmaking, so I was trying to put in one single images the three techniques. In this case it's like lithography with etching and with cut. So also in this case we have like the superpositions or juxtaposition, I don't know if in English exists the word, of this handwriting letter with no meaning, and also the type, the machine. machine writing or print. So we have like newspapers, and you have this contrast between two. Something you can read, and something is made by a machine, and something is made like written by a person, but it's unreadable. And also I took like series of newspapers. I was in some way news that I considered like important, but sometimes I had an opinion of this like important news or who were making scandals, but some of them I didn't have like really close in the connection with this. So when it's like I don't have a really connection with the image, this is a profile, like this guy is facing out of the news, no, of the text.
And here we have something similar.
And the other one, and in the other one, because sometimes I have like the same figure, but it's my profile or my silhouette. But sometimes you have like sitting, facing in front, but it's not basically facing in front because it's facing to the news. Because it's a silhouette, you can know. It's also the double thing again.
Okay.
When you have a silhouette, you don't know if it's facing to you or facing to that way. So it can be like also not. I'm not interested in this, but it's facing basically the text. You know? But in this case, it's like just without, because I started to work with the chair as a symbol of contemplation. Because I was on those times I was thinking the contemplation for me. I needed like to be relaxed, and I was trying to find like what object or which object like could represent this calm or this peace or this to be relaxed. I said sometimes when you are relaxed or you are sitting and you can
feel that.
So I was thinking to find an object, like you just relax and contemplate or even other study whatever you want. So I came in the end to the chair. So that as I was starting to use the chairs. So I have a lot
as
of
a
work
sign
with chairs.
of relaxing
As a symbol of contemplation. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, it's basically that.
So thank you so much for your
Yeah,
time
you're
and for
welcome.
being here in Warsaw with us for a couple of days. I would like to thank also people who make this exhibition possible, of course to the artist Eduardo Lara, also to Robert Andrade, who is not with us but for trusting us to make it alone. Really many thanks also to Pancho, who is recording in the camera, and really special thanks to Didi Lezcano, who was making the setup and not only arranging the Instagram with us. So you all are invited here to Galleria Barcalarte. The whole month, August, will be till the 2nd of September,
Till 2nd
the exhibition, so you are really welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I hope to see you.
Dziękuję.
Dziękujemy.
Dziękujemy.